So some of the things that PLP is doing, they are still providing support for each of our groups, BALIS, SVLIS, MOBAC, and PLS. They're maintaining the website. They're supporting the communities of participation. They're, the database negotiations, which are ongoing, and that report I said is coming soon, and the delivery service. So, and don't forget the CLINGs. So with that, I really want to thank the staff of PLP for making it through this year and doing as much as they've been able to do. And now I'm going to turn it over to Linda, who's going to give us an update on state funding and other activities in which she and her staff have been involved on our behalf that maybe elaborate on some of what I said and maybe some new. Thank you, Linda.
So I want to thank you all, because one of the reasons we are able to keep going is because, as Teresa mentioned, you paid the dues. However, the year before that, when we voted in a new structure for paying our dues for membership, it has been enough to, after we did some cutting here, to keep us going. And we're very fortunate for that, because there is no other system, even though they have the one in Southern California is got a lot of reserves, that actually can still make it on what they are working with through their membership. And I appreciate that. I thank you so much for doing that. As far as the state funding, there isn't any, as Teresa mentioned. However, also, what should be happening, I guess, is hopefully the May revise comes out Monday. And it would be very happy news, but very unusual news, to find out that we had been put back in the budget. The way we would get back in the budget is through the legislature, which is what happened last year. And the governor left it in, but had that trigger. And the trigger, of course, got pulled. So this year, I think, this is my thinking and other people's the same, that this may happen again, and next year the trigger would be the tax measure in November. So I think we could go through the same thing again, hopefully not. If you read yesterday the CLAs from the Dillons, they basically said, they'll be out Monday or Tuesday with how to write to the governor and what to say to the governor once his May revise comes out. So that's where we are with state funding. The big part of this, and I'm segueing into my next item, which is Federal Legislation Day, which I went to, and one of the things the California delegation stressed to the people they met with was that this was happening in the state. Any way you can help us with your colleagues in the state, please, think about the libraries. Some of them were very interested in this, and I think we'll, try to make contact. But the other thing that came up was, if we should not get any money, is trying to get this IMLS waived. I mean, waive the federal funding so we can get it. However, there are about 26 other states that need waivers. So it would be a very hard thing to do. But California has a very large delegation, and if we should come to that, which we won't know until December, we did tell them we may be calling on them again. So our federal delegation is aware of what's going on. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a phone call with the state librarian and Jerry McGinnity, and I think Carla, I don't think you all were on it, your liaisons weren't on it, but it was a very depressing call. And it was basically the system people, and some of them saying they were going out of business if they, if there was no money. Some of them can't make it through the end of they'll make it till the end of the fiscal year, but they may have to shut down the doors if there is no money. And getting off that phone was a very depressing kind of thing. So anyways, we decided, talking to Donna and talking to Terry, that we wanted to do whatever we could to keep systems going in the state, and that we would answer an RFP from NorthNet, which is formerly North State North Bay and Mountain Valley library systems, and they are looking for, or we're looking for, they're not looking anymore. They found us, or we found them, I'm not sure. We will manage their administration and their finances this year. We will not be as involved with them as they are used to being involved with having a full-time system director. They still have local meetings, which we will, and they're all on teleconference. So it will be work for us, but we think we can do it. And part of the reason for doing it is that we don't want to see the systems just go away so quickly. If it has to happen, it'll have to happen, but we want to be able to do what we can. So we will be, we'll have a contract. They will not be part of PLP. They will be their own system, and we will do the administration, which is what we did for a long time with the 4 systems that are now PLP. The LSTA grant. So after this depressing call, the state library sent out an email and said that they would be giving each of the systems a $20,000 grant to do, because a lot of what came up in the conversation was we need to do some planning. We need to figure out, even if it's just going out of business, we have to figure out how to do this. What does this all mean to our members? How do we do this? So since we had been doing some planning on other things, we're not going out of business. And we sent out an email to the executive committee saying, what should we do with $20,000? It's not a lot of money, but what should we pursue? Because we've always thought of ourselves as kind of that do R&D for libraries that they can't do themselves. So we came up with, and you know, these grants are turnaround. The call was about 3 weeks ago, Monday, and the grants were due last Friday. It's like tomorrow. Actually, we did get an extension of it, but till next week.